What's up, everybody? Happy New Year! It is 2:01 East Coast, where it is currently snowing up here in the Northeast. I'm guessing at 11:01 West Coast, Las Vegas style. It is not snowing for you, my awesome co-host Jason T. Smith. How's the weather out there, West Coast style, in the new year?
It is actually raining, and not enough to be a problem, but enough to make the roads a problem. And most people will not understand this. When you live someplace where it never rains, anything that leaks out of your car never gets washed away. So when it does rain, it's going to be just a nightmare today, because all suddenly the roads are just one big ass oil slick.
I can see that.
When you live someplace where it rains or it snows, I mean, that stuff gets all washed away. So we can go months with millions of cars driving the roads with no rain. It doesn't look like there's anything there, but man, once that water hits it, oh man, it's just it's a fun donut machine. Doing donuts on the freeway, baby.
Of course, you get to stay home today, right? Like, you don't have to go anywhere because you have the post office picks up your boxes. You're doing some online shopping, or do you actually have to go somewhere?
No, I made plans many moons ago with a member of the Thrifting board who's coming into town. He's actually been on vacation in Havasu, and he's flying out of Vegas tonight. And he's like, "Do you have time to go thrifting?" So I'm always like, "Sure." And all the shipping's done, will be done. And now I'm like, "Oh man, if I didn't have plans, I would so be on that couch just working from the couch."
All right. Well, I think going thrifting is kind of right up your alley. That's kind of what you're known for. So if we probably have some new listeners this year, 2016, and I think it might be a good idea to give a little recap of who the heck are you and who the heck am I. So I'm gonna let you go first because you have much better headwear today than I.
I got my pug hat today, man. That's my pug hat.
There's no better way to describe that than a pug hat. No.
Yep. So my name is Jason T. Smith, and I have been a thrifter all my life. And a few years ago, I got a TV show on Spike, and it lasted for 2 seasons, called Thrift Hunters. So I did that, and I built a pretty good following across the country of people who want to learn about thrifting, and I teach them, and I guide them, and I speak at conferences. And my current Facebook group is called the Thrifting Board. It's all kind of beachy themed out. We decided not to have admins. We have lifeguards. So if you are having a rough time in the seas of e-commerce and you need a little bit of help, come on over to the Thrifting Board, and the lifeguards and your fellow surfers will help you out. And hey, how many people are in Scam Power?
We're up to like 13, just under 13,000.
My new group's been open for 4 months, and we're already past 7,000.
Nice. You got a big.
It's all organic. There are groups that are built because people are told they have to bring all their friends. Mine is just, if you want to be there, you're there. That's it.
I can dig it. Hey, but don't get caught up in numbers, man, because top-line numbers don't mean nothing when it comes to Facebook engagement. And I don't mean this as a competition, because your group has the most engagement per member that I've ever seen. It's ridiculous. I used to try to keep up, and then it just goes so fast because there's so many people not just asking for help, but offering help. And that's the key, right? Like, anybody can have a group that has people asking questions, but if you don't get answers, let alone the right answers, all those questions aren't going to do you any good, because you can follow along and do these questions, but everybody learns by seeing the other answers to other people's questions, and they learn just by kind of hanging out. They learn all these new things to look for, ways to list, way to get more money for their items. It's you have a good thing going with the Thrifting Board.
And the other cool thing is I didn't even ask a question. I just made a fun post the other day, but I got the information I would have had to ask for later. So I don't know if you saw it, but just when I thought I'd seen it all and bought it all at a thrift store, I come across this at Savers last week.
I did see that post. It was a little creepy.
And it actually has a little bit of meat left on the back from this poor animal. But I didn't ask what it was. I was going to have to later on, but I just said, geez, thought I'd seen it all, bought it all, here it is. And after a little bit of discussion, people told me it was a domestic goat. So even if you don't ask for help, you're going to get it. Because I was going to need it anyway, because when I go to sell this sucker, I got to know what it is.
All right, so what is the going rate on a domestic goat skull these days?
It isn't huge. I looked it up, and it's like $10, $15. It's nothing exciting. But if nothing else, I'll put it in my antique booth. I only paid $4 for it. But, you know, that's the kind of item, as me, one of the main thrifters in the country, if you will, I had to buy it. There's a skull with meat sitting there, and they thought, sure, let's put this out. So I just had to buy it, you know. Couldn't leave it behind.
Oh my goodness.
Somebody also donated it. The 1-2 punches. Somebody said, "I'm going to donate this," and somebody at the thrift store said, "Sure, let's put it out."
What'd they put on it? Like $2.99 or something?
Nah, it was $5, and I had a coupon.
Nice.
But I know that. Look, I'm definitely not disparaging thrift store employees. They're my buddies. They take care of me because they always put out good stuff at good prices. But every once in a while, you run across one where you're like, and then I'll always have like this dumb manager go, "Well, we don't, we just put out what we get." And I'm like, "So if you got a kilo of cocaine, you just put it out because you got it?" No, silly goose. Sometimes you got to pause and think. Like one time, somebody dropped off like 500 bootleg DVDs, the kind that they filmed in the theater.
Ooh.
So you see people walk. And so they took up the whole section. I gathered them and said, "Here, throw this away. This is all bootlegs." And that's when she's like, "Well, we don't, I'm like, if somebody dropped off cocaine, you wouldn't put it out? No, get rid of this crap. I mean, you guys got plenty to process in the back. Don't process. I mean, this is clearly bootleg. It's like Jim's version of Empire Strikes Back."
All right. Well, on that, I have a question for you regarding thrift stores and donations that I'll save for a few minutes. Because from the eBay side that you're representing, eBay and the thrifting as a source of inventory, I'm on the flip, right? I come from the retail and online arbitrage background, the Amazon, the FBA background, and that's what this show is about, guys. It's a little compare and contrast and helping you guys find the right channels for your inventory to sell, as well as the right sources for your inventory depending on your business goals, your sourcing budget, and pretty much just what you like to do. That's one that I think a lot of people forget about because, man, you can make a lot of money doing retail arbitrage, but it can also make you miserable if you don't enjoy it. And you know what? You can actually make just as much money thrifting and have a lot of fun if that's what you're into. And for some people, thrift stores are the worst. They're like, "Oh, I hate going in there. They're always dirty and smelly. I never find anything." And hey, that's their experience, and it is what it is. But for everybody listening, we got love for both sides of it. We just want you guys to have fun, be able to make money on your own terms, be your own boss, whether you're going full-time or part-time or any other time in between. So for everybody that fits into that very wide, very large demographic, welcome to the show. We are glad you are here. And Adam, what's up, Adam? Biohazard is here, man. He's jamming with us. Always good to see you, dude.
What's happening, buddy?
All right, man.
Yeah, I see plenty of people, you're right, Chris, that go, "Ugh, thrift stores stink." But on the other end of that, when I followed you on the floor of ASD, and if you don't know what ASD is, it's a wholesale show where people who do arbitrage and they sell FBA on Amazon. These are the places they go to cut big deals. Is at a gigantic convention center here in Vegas. It's just mile after mile after mile of I can't even fathom how many products are in there. And I thought, my wife's like, she sees these people who put up big numbers. She sees Sam Cohen, she sees Irma, she sees Elizabeth in Kentucky, and she's like, maybe you should do that. So I thought I'll walk with Chris one day on the show because he was taking a class out. And I have never been more miserable in my life. I knew at that moment I was 100% sure I never want to do this. Now, I have done a little arbitrage, and my good friend Cheryl, who has gone from corporate world to eBay world to FBA, I was at a grocery store the other day, and I found what I thought was a great deal. The rank was real nice. And I texted her real quick. I go, "Should I buy all these or like 80? And so she said, "Let me look at my other tools." Oh, she goes, "Yeah, that'll be a good deal. Even be a better deal when you hit summertime." I go, "Okay, cool." So I did a little arbitrage there today, Chris. You'd be proud of me. I pushed a whole cart full of closeouts up to the counter. I even tried to get a better deal. And the manager, that was nice about it. I'm like, "Come on, I'm freeing up some floor space. I'm taking a whole cart." He's like, "I don't want to get fired. I got to feed my kids." He was such a dick. I'm like, "Relax." If you don't ask, you'll never know. Maybe he would have said yeah, but I wasn't.
He could have said no with a smile on his face, right?
Yes, exactly. He made it so dramatic. I'm like, "All right, fine. I'm going to buy him anyway. I was just hoping for a cut." Oh well. Yeah. So I showed him. I gambled $20 and I won $20. Thank you, sucker.
Nice.
That's the added bonus of arbitrage in Vegas. Usually there's video poker.
Well, I have a real question for you, and you might not know the answer. It's on the actual thrift store side of things. One of my New Year's resolutions is to kind of reclaim my garage. A lot of you guys who are listening know that I used to be a power tool sales rep. I worked for Bosch Power Tools. It was funny. David asked me this last night because we were chatting before bed, and he's like,
David
"Why
is your
didn't?"
son.
Yeah, David. He's 8 years old.
For the new people, you're just like throwing out.
I assume everybody knows everything about us. Yeah, 8 years old. He's grown up with arbitrage happening around him for 8 years, and for that reason, he is very good. I can have a pile of toys, and he doesn't like whine and want to go through them. I could buy a stack of video games, and if I say no, those are to sell, he won't like whine and say no, Dad. Let me like keep one. I mean, I can see that struggle for people with kids. If all of a sudden you start bringing home cart and trunk load and van full of toys, they're going to want to get in it, right? So like he's grown up with it. He sees all this crazy stuff happen, and I'm going through all my power tools, and I've got like tool bags, those big mouth tool bags, full, like 40 pounds of circular saw blades, 60 pounds of recip saw blades. I mean, I must have 14 different cordless drills, and he's like, why didn't you send those things back when you quit? I mean, what didn't they want them back? And I was explaining to him, I was like, no, what a giant company, multi-billion-dollar company, they don't want like 2 used drills to come back. What are they going to do with them, right? Like they just want to sell new drills. So when they send out demo tools to their sales reps, they keep them, So you have all this extra stuff. So I moved, and when I moved, I gave away thousands of dollars worth of tools to a buddy of mine. I gave him the 2-base router, the full table saw, the big 12-inch sliding miter saw, like the cream of the crop stuff. One, because I hadn't used it there in forever, and we were moving. I did not have room. A lot of these tools are very big, right? Like these are floor standing tools. These are big things. So I got rid of it all. And a lot of it's still just been sitting in the garage. Some of it's from my old eBay days, stuff that I planned to I just finally sell this on eBay. So I mean, I just have stacks of tools and all this stuff. So long intro to this is because I'm cleaning out the garage. I want my garage back. I want to have everything organized so I can actually find recip saws when I need them. I can actually find tools where the batteries still work and they're not 10-year-old NiCad batteries that don't work. And that's where this thrift store question comes in, because in my garage, I find old laptop batteries. I find old Power Wheels batteries, which are like a half the size battery of a car, right? These are giant batteries. I don't know if they work or not. I got old power tool batteries. I've got old drills with internal batteries I can't even get out that I've lost the chargers to. I can't even charge them to see if they work. And as a cop-out, I will often donate these things to the thrift store because I don't want to like feel bad throwing it in my dumpster, right? Because I live out in the country. I have a dumpster where they come pick it up. I know that's just going to go in the dump. It's going to get in the groundwater. And all. I know I'm not supposed to throw batteries away. But man, should people be donating those things to the thrift store? And if the thrift store decides they can't sell them, what does the thrift store do with them? Or am I just passing off responsibility? The thrift store's going to throw them in the trash anyway. And I mean, and I know the ultimate answer is to like take your stuff to Batteries Plus or one of those like battery places, and I think they will actually dispose of batteries for you. But have you ever thought of that in terms of thrift stores and donating, getting rid of stuff that way?
I do, because I have friends that work there, so I see the crap they have to sort through, and I'm like, some people are just assholes. Like, this is not donating. This is cleaning out the garbage in your garage. And I'm not talking about what you're talking about. I'm talking about literal bags of garbage.
Yeah, I won't donate garbage.
No, but it's just like, oh, these poor people, they're busting their ass in that back room. Nastiness. And, on the battery front, being that old, especially those old ones you have, I would just dispose of them whatever the correct way is. And I would leave those just out of the equation. Everything else you can donate. Or put an ad in Craigslist. Somebody will come take all that crap for free. You don't have to worry about even throwing it away. Because, it's like when you watch, I don't know about the country so much, but in Vegas we have garbage pickers. So we put our trash out the night before, and anything big, you'll see just pickup trucks full to the top, all strapped down, of broken like lawn chairs and outdoor heaters. But somebody somewhere can fix that and make it pretty and take it to the swap meet. And that's fine. Like, it don't bother me.
Scrapping it. People around here.
Or scrapping it, yeah, depending on what it is. But same with those batteries. Maybe someone's got a use for them or knows how to test them or fix them. You put, hey, I got 50 of these batteries. The first one to come here gets them. You'll have a line, I bet you.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it, I just got to get the throwing it in the trash off my conscience. In the chat room, we got people saying, "Oh, don't get them all and take them down to the scrapyard. You'll get something here," and that's not the thing. I don't want anything for them. I would actually, I would maybe I'll do reverse Craigslist and I'll say, here's a $20 bill, but you have because here's what would happen. I thought this is funny that we stumbled onto this before because like we had cats and I was like, you know what? Here's how we should get rid of these cats. Is because it's hard to donate off, or not donate, but adopt off a fully grown cat, right? Because like people want a kitten, it's cute, it's easy to give away a kitten, hard to give away a cat. So I'm like, here's what we'll do: we'll offer the cat for adoption with $200 cash to help some, buy some food and litter and like take care of the cat. The problem is the first person's going to see that and be like, oh yeah, I'll do that. They'll pick up the cat and they'll drop it off in the woods and keep the $200. Right?
Yeah.
How are you going to make sure they actually want the cat and aren't just like, oh, yeah. I mean, what'll happen, they'll pick up the $20 bill, and on the way out, when I turn around, they're going to open my own dumpster and throw the batteries right in there. And be like, see ya. But maybe I just have a pessimistic view.
You do, but, yeah, I mean, I would try just, here, free. I used to sell tools. Here's some leftover crap. Some dude's going to want them, and he'll be ecstatic. So
Jen was listening on that. Jen knew about that though. We talked about that. When I would give away a cat with money, right? I'd just be happy that they would take the cat. It's tough to give away a grown cat. But anyway, that was an actual thrift store question because I do have huge boxes of stuff to donate.
I think you forgot to finish your credentials, by the way. Like you've written like 100 books.
Oh, I got mad credentials, man. You search Chris Green on Google and Amazon, and you're going to find me. I have written several books about Amazon and FBA, and yeah, there are a lot of opportunities, and a lot of the opportunities that I see to make money working online revolve around Amazon. It's not just the flavor of the month; it's the flavor of, to me, the next at least 5 to 7 years of the #1 place to find customers. Amazon's third-party marketplace is almost it's over 40% of all of Amazon, meaning we get to sell to Amazon's best customers. So when Amazon's customers go to Amazon first, they may be buying from us. And my latest thing, probably a lot of stuff my 2016 is going to be focused on, is not just merch by Amazon, short for merchandise. It's print-on-demand T-shirts. But if you break that down, it's content creation. If you can create images, if you can create books and write and make videos, and here we are on YouTube. If you can create content, there are any number of ways that you can monetize that content with physical products. That's the big bridge that we're able to cross is say, you know what, I've got an image and now I have a T-shirt. You know what, I have a PDF document and now I have a book. That is huge because those things I'm talking about don't require any actual money. They only require maybe a little time, maybe a little talent to make some of these things, but it's certainly something that anybody can do. I'm not wearing my J and Nay shirt, though I was probably wearing it over the holidays. And you can just do anything. You can do anything that you want. I mean, how much money did you guys raise with a T-shirt? And the exciting part is how much money did you have to spend to raise that money?
Yeah, we had to spend nothing, and I PayPal'd her $300 last night.
Exactly. And we got physical shirts. We didn't just donate because we're like, oh, I'll just write a check to Jason. No, I got a shirt out of it. It's like, great, this is nice.
Speaking of, I am about ready to get my first client going. I had an epiphany the other night. I'm like, told a buddy who was figuring out how to do merch. I'm like, you want to do T-shirts? Like, yeah. I go, I can do that for you because I got Nadine, my partner in my other show, who's a graphic design artist. So she'll get paid to do the graphic, and then I'll set him up and sell the shirts and get my cut. And he'll be happy, she'll be happy, I'll be happy, and it's great. Now, somebody just asked, how do you promote your merch by Amazon products? Chris and I have a unique position because a lot of people follow every move we do, for good or for bad.
Yeah, for good or bad.
I got somebody just being a schmuck on my wall today, so for good or for bad, we have people who follow us. And so I was on TV and I was in 144 countries, and I have a Facebook page for the show, and I get messages from all over the world. And so when I'm selling something new and cool, I'll throw it up there, and I know I get sales from that. But other ways, if you're not somebody who has been followed, like Chris and I, you definitely got to come up with products that people would want and would hunt down anyway. And obviously, in this day and age, in this ADD generation, you've got to figure out what's happening and be one of the first on the block. So when something hits, you got to be like, oh, boom, got the T-shirt, get a design, get it up. With the Browns, I think it's like the 5th Browns coach in a row got fired because they lost the last game of the season to the Steelers. So see, I could come up with something like that. All the Cleveland fans would totally understand that if I came up with a witty shirt and got it out there. And even Steelers fans would probably buy it to just be like, suckers.
Look, here's a shirt for you. Here's a real shirt for you, and I guarantee no one in the audience is actually going to do this, though you guys might. I hope you guys do. All right. But being that you're from Cleveland and you got like some Browns roots going on, and you got you got Manziel. Have they fired Manziel yet, or is that just going to happen?
Well, so they fired the coach and the GM, and even though Manziel wasn't going to play this week, as a good teammate, you should be, with your team as a quarterback helping out with plays at practice. Yeah, Manziel was in Vegas Saturday night gambling and drinking, but yet his Instagram, he was pretending he was home with his dog on his couch. He is such an asshole. He should be fired.
All right, well, here's your shirt. This is on a white shirt in Browns color with an orange outline. See ya, Johnny, as soon as he gets fired. Right? And you can probably put see ya, Johnny with, like, was it number 2 or 4 or whatever?
See ya, Johnny Football.
Well, Johnny Football, I think, is trademarked, so I'd be careful on that. I don't know if he got the trademark, but I know he was trying to. For whatever it is, you make a see ya, and then you go on Twitter and Instagram, and you find every single Browns fan who is talking about it, and you reply back. Because here's part of the brilliance about merch by Amazon, is it's completely anonymous. It's not like you're going on and it's showing this T-shirt or like this eBay listing from Tiki Pug Music, or here's sold by Tiki Pug, fulfilled by Amazon. None of that. Ships from and sold by Amazon. It just looks like you're like, haha, look at this funny shirt about Manziel. That's it. So it's good and it's bad. I'm not trying to go undercover spam and just post your link and all this stuff, but you certainly could. And if you join conversations, if you add a little bit of value, if you're relevant, then it's not going to come across as spam, as everybody's just talking about Trump. Oh, here's Trump shirt, here's Trump shirt, here's Trump shirt. I mean, people see through that crap pretty quick. But if everybody's talking about see ya, Johnny, and maybe you start a little hashtag, see ya, Johnny, is the hashtag you put out there. I mean, you can start riding it really, really easy. I mean, that's going to happen, right?
Because he's such a loser. Like, look, I don't mind that he partied in Vegas Saturday night because he did get back to the game on Sunday, but he tried to pretend he wasn't here. He is in Las Vegas gambling, dining on New Year's weekend, thinking no one would notice and say something. And he put a post up of him and his dog watching TV at his house, like he was supposedly there. I'm like, what an idiot. That's why he should be fired. He should be fired because he's dumb. He is dumb.
Let me give him a benefit of the doubt, right? Because I try to be king of benefit of the doubt. A lot of celebrities and a lot of big people on Instagram, they will schedule out their stuff. So it could be that his agent or his PR firm or something scheduled this to be all cozy with the fans, and here I am with my dog, and didn't pay attention to, oh crap, he's actually not here, and realizing the PR nightmare that would cause. And it could be a little more of an innocent mistake. Same fallout though, right? Because that's why you can't schedule that stuff. You can't schedule some, hey, what do you guys think of the new Jordans, and not pay attention to we just had another terrorist attack, and you want to talk about the new Jordans? You insensitive piece of crap. No, sorry, I automated. I didn't know. That's why you can't automate, right? There's so many downfalls to automation versus just being real. And he may got caught up in that and really paying the price for it.
But here's the other problem, though, Chris. I didn't think
Either way, it's the same fallout, right? I'm not trying to.
It is. But here's the thing. He's already been to rehab once. He hasn't become a starting quarterback yet, and he's already gone down the rehab route. He's out partying like he's a baller. Remember back in the day when Michael Irving showed up for court in a full-length mink coat?
No, I forgot that. That
All
sounds
right, so
about
he
right.
had to go to court for something, and but Michael Irvin was the man. He was the man, and you know what? I'm not talking about the fact that it was mink, but he pulled it off because he was the man. Johnny acts like he's the man, and he ain't the man. He's out balling like he's a player and popping cork bottles at clubs in Vegas. Dude, you're gonna be out of a job soon. You're gonna be what's his face, who can't even get a job, Tebow. You will be Tebow, and there it is. There's the T-shirt. Johnny Football is Tebow 2.0.
I don't know. I don't think Tebow did the same stuff that Johnny did.
No, but Tebow is out. He's out of the spotlight, and because, for good or for bad, no matter what side you fall on, part of his problem was he seemed more concerned about praying than playing football. And so when your focus isn't on what your job is, so Johnny's partying, Tebow's praying, people like, no, I want somebody who wants to eat, breathe, and do football 24/7 during the season. Everything else could be other fine off season. So I think Manziel will be gone. I really do. So yeah, let's make some T-shirts.
There you go. Dude, I made a football T-shirt. It went down the drain when the Falcons beat the Panthers, and they were 14-0, and I made a 19-0 T-shirt, and I made it in exact Carolina Panther colors. And if anybody wants to jump on you can't do that, I'm like, yeah, I can. And it didn't say Panthers, it didn't say Carolina. I'm not trying to hop on that, but I'll make a silver, blue, and black 19-0 shirt. And I completely wasted one of my merch by Amazon slots with that because unless they go 19-0 next year, ain't nobody gonna buy it. And nobody's gonna buy an 18-1 shirt, right? Like just like who cares, right?
It would be funnier if you could not make the shirt where that's crossed out and 18-1's scribbled on the corner or something.
I guess. I don't know.
And here, and we'll swing it all back to the merch. And so, like Chris was saying, you can make it with the colors. And I'm sure this happens everywhere where there's a major college team, but especially in Ohio, you can buy Ohio State T-shirts all day, every day, everywhere that are in gray and red. They're not officially licensed Ohio State merchandise because all it says is 2 words, Ohio State. Now, when people see that, your brain fills in the rest. Official, it's the Ohio State University. And then it'd be licensed.
We can make Ohio State shirts?
Absolutely. They're all over Ohio. And I remember back in the day when I thought I was buying Buckeyes shirts, and I didn't. I realized at that moment, I'm like, oh, no, somebody found a way around it. There's making gray and red shirts, and they put the words Ohio and State. Well, those aren't, anything. It's Ohio and State. We could do Wyoming and State and Kansas and State, Now, if you went Ohio State Buckeyes, then you would have a different problem. But just the word Ohio and State, but it conjures up, it's for the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Dude, you got to get on that.
So, see, that's the other angle. If you can find a way to, tiptoe up to a line and not cross it, but have, it's like when you see, I don't know if you've ever seen the picture that says, keep off the grass. But your brain misses the second the because it's never supposed to be there. And so your brain fills in the rest. So this is the same way. It is an Ohio State Buckeyes official shirt, but I saw Ohio State. I saw gold. I saw red and gray, and I just thought, oh, it's an Ohio State Buckeyes licensed shirt. I'll buy that as a gift. And then I'm like, oops, I bought a low rent version of it, but it works. Because you're not paying the licensing fee, so you don't have to sell it for as much. So there's your angles. I got to show you something, Chris, to make you laugh. I bought 2 products from Amazon, since we talk about Amazon and eBay. On the same order. I thought they were coming from both Amazon. Wait a minute. Amazon Fulfillment Service. Yeah, they were. But they obviously came from different warehouses. So this is the first thing I got. It's just a regular envelope. And I had to order some new extra Apple plugs. Just the plug part. So even though this is not a collectible, I'm not keeping the box. They shipped 3 boxes in just a padded mailer. Okay? Next to it, I got this, not giant box, but not tiny. And when I opened it, I looked at this and went, oh my God, they forgot my product. And I couldn't even remember what I ordered. Are you ready to see what came in this box?
Oh, let me guess.
All right.
I don't have one here. I'm guessing what it is, though. I know what it is.
I don't think you do.
No, I don't have one close enough.
Because it's in there. The product is in there. You ready?
Yeah.
It's a refill ink for a pen. In this giant, ridiculous box.
Awesome.
I'm like, what? Look at that. This has to win for the most percentage of wasted space ever.
Yeah, it's close. I've had something like that.
I mean, what? But on my end, cool. I got a nice box and nice air pillows. But I was just, when I opened it, I thought, oh my God, they forgot my product.
Well, dude, they probably know it's you. They watch the show.
You think? They're like, oh, he's going to talk about this on the show.
No, they want to make sure you have boxes. They know you're going to reuse the pillows anyway. Of all the people to send it to, it made a lot of sense. And I am very convinced that Amazon, they're well aware of their shipping, I don't want to say inadequacies because that's not really the right word for it. But they know that if they put that in a box or an envelope, or when they put an itty-bitty box in like a giant box with no padding, even when people are like, I can't believe Amazon didn't put no bubbles in here. And I'm like, is the product in perfect condition? Well, yeah, but but what, right? Like, are we really taking time out of our day? I mean, they could have put that pen in that box. I mean, here, let's do an experiment. Take the bubbles out. Put the pen back in.
Yeah.
All right, sealed up. Just close it. All right, shake the crap out of it. No, like really, like for real. Boom. All right, let's check it. I'm betting it's okay.
Ta-da!
Right, like whatever.
But that blows my mind. We've all had that, and we've all heard the complaints of Amazon. And I think Adam just said it in the chat. Amazon sends stuff without packing material, so they took that little tiny thing and they needed all this. That's nuts.
Yeah, it's automated.
Nuts. Right,
So what? So what?
I got a challenge for our listeners.
All right, good.
I'm going to put this. All right, so my Facebook group is called the Thrifting Board. I'm actually going to write up a nice thing. I'm going to start the post later today. And I was thinking about it over the holiday break from a couple different angles. So here's what I propose as a challenge to everyone that's listening to us, that's watching us, that follows us in our groups. I want everyone to, this week, go buy one thing from Amazon, one thing from eBay, and one thing from Etsy. And it's going to be like a kind of a threefold thing here. The first reason is I am shocked by the number of people who sell online who don't buy online. And I run across those people quite often. And when people ask me questions about what their customer is experiencing when they bought it, I'm like, well, when the last time you bought something on eBay, what did you experience? Well, I don't buy on eBay. So let me get this straight. You want to make a living off a platform, but you don't buy from it? So I want people to basically see the process from the buyer end start to finish. Now, the asterisk is when you get to Amazon, don't buy something from Amazon. Buy something from a third-party seller. We know how Amazon does it. They do it like this, okay? Buy from a third-party seller. So you're going to buy from Etsy, eBay, and Amazon. Secondly, try and find some small sellers. Somebody doesn't have a lot of feedback. We'll be promoting, buying from a small business, me or Chris or anybody like that. And that way you'll just, help spur the economy, so to speak. And thirdly, you should learn from the good and the bad, and that's what we're going to discuss in my group, of when you get the product, the correspondence. Now, I brought this up. I did a little bit of a haul show last night with Nadine, and I brought this up, and I said, we're going to share the good and the bad. We're going to focus really on the good, and when we share the bad, we're not going to share the seller's name. We're not going to bash anybody, but if a pen did come packed in a big box, we'll talk about it. And then we'll talk about it from, okay, if you're the seller, how would you do that better kind of thing. So it'll be this whole learning process. Now, what's great is last night I went and bought my 3 products, and my one on Etsy shipped this morning, and the shipping was way too much, and they refunded me. So mine's off to a great start. Like, they even, not only did I get a message that was the automatic refund, I got a message from the seller saying, hey, thanks so much for buying from me. the shipping was way off. It's mainly because we lived closer than if he was shipping it to Maine. He lives in upstate Nevada, so he goes, "Here's your refund." He refunded like $6 to me. That's a great thing. And so I'm already happy with the response that I got on the first thing. Now, I went and bought 3 of the same kind of product. I bought 3 tiki mugs because that's what I collect, and they weren't the same, obviously, 3 different ones, but I bought 3 breakable items, so I want to see how all 3 of them come packed, and I want to see the good and the bad. And so that's the challenge I'm putting out to anyone who's listening, and anyone who's watching, anyone who's reading the post once I get it up, is go buy 3 things. Figure out the best things those sellers did and emulate them. And look at the worst things those sellers did and don't ever do it. What do you think?
I am pulling up my last order from eBay to give you some reference points for buying from eBay. Because I ordered 2 things. They both arrived. They were both, well, I haven't opened them, but the packages actually look very nicely put together, nice tape, printed labels, like new boxes with crisp corners. I'll give them points for that. I ordered 2 items on the same day. Actually, put them in the same order, even though they're from different sellers. So only have 1 PayPal transaction. I actually liked that about eBay. It didn't make me do 2 transactions. And I ordered these in the morning of December 22nd. Now, I know we got Christmas going on, so I'm not like really trying to bitch about this. This is the 22nd, right? The 22nd, a Tuesday. Christmas is on Friday. 22nd. All right. I got 1. I don't know if I got the shipping notification or whatever. But the 1 was delivered Saturday, December 26th, right? Delivered on the 26th. I can handle that from eBay, right? Especially over Christmas, all right? Good news for that seller. The other seller didn't ship the thing until December 26th, and it didn't show up until January 2nd, right? To the point where I've forgotten about the product. I'm wondering if it's here, and I've misplaced it or something. Just don't make me go to my email, look up tracking information and all this crap. So he took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 days to get here. When I'm in a 2-day Prime world, right? It's just like if I could have got that on Amazon in a heartbeat I would, but I had to go to eBay for it. But
so is it a product you should not be selling on Amazon?
No, it's just this totally random product that no one else is buying. This guy should be thankful he even got the order, and yeah, it took 11 days, but it took him 4 days just to ship it, right? Like if you order on the Monday or in the morning, I don't see why you're not shipping that same day, let alone Wednesday before Christmas. Like, ooh, if I'm listing stuff on eBay and people are buying it, man, maybe I better get that stuff shipped out. And by the time you get to Christmas Eve and Christmas, I get it. You're not doing it. And then, I don't know, I could track it in depth. I bet he printed the label on Saturday, but didn't drop it off until Monday if I had to. Can they, how detailed can we get on it? Full tracking history. Let's see if I was right. Yep, totally right. Without a doubt.
And
Sunday,
see, that's
label created, even though the email from eBay said it was processed on the 26th. The tracking didn't get to USPS until Sunday the 27th, and accepted for pickup. What do you know? Called it ahead of time, Monday, December 28th. 22nd to 28th. A week goes by before, I guess I should get these orders out, and that's where I'm like, if you're not going to ship on time, get it off eBay, right? Like.
Now, we'll play devil's advocate. What was his handling time? Maybe he knew he was going to be gone for Christmas, and he upped it to 7 days.
Oh, let's see if I can find this guy.
So send me the link later. I'll take a look at it. But there's a prime example. So haven't got my Etsy product yet.
Right? Like
haven't got my Etsy product yet. But guess what?
Within 5 business days. Right? That's what it says.
All right. Well, then, yeah. Then he screwed you. And I'm happy with that. You bought something on eBay before you knew of the challenge, and you got a bad buyer. A bad seller. So you don't want to do that. But here's what you got to make sure you do. And this was.
So how do I find this guy's how long it's going to take him to ship, kind of thing?
You got to go to the shipping tab, and it should tell you the handling. But here's what I want everyone to do, and I think this is what got me thinking about it.
1 business day.
Oh, then yeah, he really dropped the ball. And I would leave him negative feedback because of that.
No, I'm not going to do that. I don't care.
Read read every bit of correspondence you get in your email. Don't just gloss over it. Read it. So I mean, this is really an exercise of what your buyer sees. Read it, make sure you understand it, and then when a buyer has a question about the correspondence, because most of it's automatic from the 3 platforms, hey, your shit is shipped, hey, we got your order, blah, blah, blah. That way, you have a good idea of what your buyer sees, so it's easier to help your buyer when they have a bump in the road. And that's kind of why I want to do it. But also, hey, let's buy from each other. Let's buy from some small sellers. And, don't have to be something you collect. It can be something you need. And just make sure you're buying from a third party, not Amazon, and give it a whirl. But I'm going to write the whole thing in my group, kind of some parameters to go through, and then we'll share. I think it'll be a great learning experience, especially those who participate. And even if you don't, you can read along, and you'll definitely get some good feedback. And, I look at everything I buy and I sell, and I make sure it was done the way I do it and the way I would want it to be done. And if it isn't, I always make sure, like, oh, my customers are getting my box that way. It's not looking so good. I'm going to change it. And so, you shouldn't get stagnant in your lane. You should always be looking to improve what you're selling, how you're selling it, how you're shipping it. Look, I'm having a 50% off sale most of the stuff in my store this week because I'm going to drag everything out of this office. We're going to lay hardwood floors, but I'm seeing a lot of stuff that's hung around for far too long, so get it gone. I'm not attached to it. I'm not sad that I didn't make a ton of money like I thought I would on a certain product. I'll find something better. But I'm already realizing T-shirts aren't selling as well as they used to, and so I'm going to weed those out and then just stick with really good T-shirts and move on to something else. So that's my experiment, my challenge.
Dude, I like that challenge. It reminds me of something that I was baffled a lot of my competitors didn't do when I was selling tools on eBay and Amazon, early in the FBA days. They had no competition. It was a very new program. A lot of people didn't trust it, FBA being fulfillment by Amazon, where Amazon's going to house my inventory for me and send it out. And I was baffled that my competitors never figured it out, and they weren't like, man, how is he doing that? And just buy one of my products and return it, right? So they could see how an FBA item is packaged. And I think people should do that as well. You can order your own stuff if you're kind of curious. If you're packaging, whether you're bubble wrapping or shrink wrapping or whatever, your stuff, order one of your own items. Have it shipped to you and see how it arrives. If it's all scuffed up, or how the Amazon warehouse process treats your packages by the time you get them delivered. I should have done that a long time ago. When I was doing this, I was bagging tools and putting zip ties around the bags. I was selling loose tools out of combo kits. And by the time they got to the customer, these bags are kind of like toe up from the flow up, if you know what I mean, like on conveyor belts. They were not looking good, and I understand why a customer would return it. So after that, I started boxing them, and return rate went way down. But if you see a competitor and you're like, man, I wonder what they're doing, or man, look at this Etsy store. They have that great feedback, do a lot of transactions. You know what? Buy something from them. See how it arrives. See how the package shows up and how you open it. Everything I buy from Etsy is always like so impressively packaged and like with bows on it and like custom like business cards. eBay, no. Amazon, never gonna happen. But guys, if you see something that works, copy it. Straight up, stone cold copy it. Be like, man, I felt so great when I opened that eBay order and it was all wrapped in tissue paper with a ribbon or whatever. If you like it and you want to do it for your customers and your products make sense to put that kind of effort into it, because I know you're going to go with that one, Jay, if I put too much effort into the packaging, then do it. But I mean, copy successful sellers. Don't reinvent the freaking wheel. Like, oh, what they're doing works. I guess I'm going to do that. Like, don't. No one copyrights a workflow, right? No one copyrights like a packaging. Copy what works. It was emulation is flattery. Imitation is flattery.
It's in the sincerest form. Chris, here's what I get tired of. When people come to my group and they're like, how much I sell this for? And then we'll go, all right, what'd your research show you? Well, it's all over the map. Okay, here's what I do. I don't need to come ask if there's a $10 one and a $50 one. I go emulate the $50 one. Like, I don't give a crap about the $10 one. If somebody got 50 for this, I'm shooting for 50, and I'm going to follow their pattern exactly. And then if I find some point where I'm like, oh, they could have done that better, I'll up it. But don't waste time asking for help. Look, the reason a lot of things are all over the map is because people devalue their items and their work time. I don't. I mean, I'm having a sale now, but I'm moving a lot of crap that sat around far too long. Somebody the other day was like, oh, I couldn't sell it for more because retail is this. I go, psh, retail? I buy tiki mugs retail and I sell them for two to three times as much as retail. Because guess what? I ship worldwide. Everyone knows eBay. I have a great return policy. People like buying from me. So when you find something that is sold for 10 and 50, figure out why the one sold for 50 and do that. Do that. Don't wait for a Facebook group to tell you that you should do that. Just do that. And if you want to get deep into it, look at all the solds other than just the price. Is the $50 guy offering worldwide shipping? Maybe he's sold to Europe. Maybe the $10 isn't. Maybe the $10 guy got terms of service that everybody's like, screw this guy, you know? So you do have to dig a little bit deeper than the price. Now, sometimes you'll find a product, oh, this is sold 10 times. They're almost all $4 to $5. Okay, that's easy peasy. Go right for the middle point there. But you got to look at the whole picture. I sell things for a better price than others because I offer hassle-free returns, worldwide shipping. I've got great feedback to back it up. Don't shoot for the lowest common denominator unless you want to move crap. I mean, when I say move crap that's old, not like, this hasn't sold in a week. What am I doing wrong?
I see it on the Amazon side with people get attached to inventory, right? They put too much effort into certain things, and I'm guilty of it too. I'm going through my garage and I'm picking up things that I have picked up before and said, no, I need to keep this, and now I'm like, no, I don't, and I've spent way too much time on nothing, and sometimes you got to get rid of stuff, and sometimes you have to price stuff, and sometimes you got to admit that the 20 minutes of research you put into something was for naught, and you bought a dud and redonate it. How many donated things do you have in the view right now? We can see on your screen. Do you have your redonate bag behind you somewhere?
No, the redonate is the set of shelves behind my car in the garage, and it's full to the top. And so when I go to the store, like the other day, I took over a bunch of shoes, and I was on vacation thrifting, and I had to buy a carry-on suitcase because I bought too much, and I bought the cheapest, crappiest one they had. I just had to get it home. I got it home. I filled that with donations and took it back. And I told the guy, I said, don't try and just wing this up because it's full. So, yeah, I mean, there's always stuff. And I thrifted duds last week, Chris. I got home looking at things I thought were awesome, and they weren't. And once I saw it in those first few seconds, these are duds, boom, I'm having a garage sale next week. They went to the garage sale pile. I was done. Like, I've already wasted my money. I am not going to waste my time. I can see rather quickly I should have not bought these 3 objects.
Yep, time's money.
That's right.
Dude, it's 2:40. You got to go.
I know. It's 2:49, actually.
2:40.
Yep, I got a hot lunch date. His name is Donnie.
Ooh, careful with that statement.
Hey, I will leave you on this since we were talking about this challenge and I bought tiki mugs. The ones I bought off of Etsy were priced too low, and there was a pair of them. And I was going to flip them on eBay, and they were so nice in the note they sent and the refunding of the money. I don't ever normally feel bad about flipping when people misprice their stuff, but I feel kind of bad if I'm going to flip these for a big profit.
Well, maybe you hold them for a while, you know.
But it's a good part of the lesson. Like, they're very personable. They didn't just refund my money. They wrote a note, and the note kind of now I feel kind of attached to them. Like, I want to go back to their store and see if I can buy some more things from them. And that's kind of part of the lesson.
Context with your customer? No. Say it ain't so.
I know. I mean, I've never felt bad about flipping something that was mispriced or mislabeled. And now I'm like, I'm going to have to wait a while. I just couldn't do it right now. And I normally would, but I'm just like, they are far too nice and too good of a seller that the only thing I'm going to do is go back and buy some more crap from them.
All right, well, here's a question for the chat room to think about until the next show. And here's the question, because this happened to me yesterday. If you stumbled onto a friends and family type coupon and were able to kind of decipher the coupon and change it to where all of a sudden you're getting a bigger discount than you had already thought of on a website. And we're not talking about like some sick like 95% off discount. Then what do you do with it, right? Do you keep it for yourself? Do you share it closely with friends? Do you exploit it? Do you post it? Do you share it? Clearly a code that exists, right? I'm not making up any rules for their website, and I certainly wouldn't care if I ordered a bunch of stuff and they canceled it saying, whoa, 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 that wasn't how we're supposed to go down. I don't get bent out of shape about things like that. I see people get like, no, they have to honor it, and I'm like, no, they don't, right? It's okay. So I don't know. I'm gonna buy some stuff with it, and but just for personal use. I'm not gonna order a truckload and flip, but put that out there because guys, when you get coupon codes, a lot of times these companies aren't thinking that far ahead, and if you look at the code and you're like, oh, that's what that means, maybe you change a few digits in there and see if it works. You might just find yourself a gold little nugget.
Good idea. All right, on that note, I am out here for my lunch date, but yeah, come on over to the Thrifting board. If you've never been in my group and you can't find it, I will put a link in the bottom of this video later on today. Also, give us a thumbs up, subscribe. We'll be back next Monday, and I will have hopefully at least one of my purchases by then, and we'll talk about it.
Because I doubt you order from eBay, you're not going to get it in a week. 11 days maybe.
It's coming from Cali, and I live in Vegas, so it might be here. But we'll talk about it. Every one of us, Chris and I included, can always be a better seller. We could always do something a little different, because it's not only that it's not that we're not doing it right, but times change, things change, and maybe I missed a change, and I'm happy to say, oh yeah, I could have been doing that better.
Awesome. All right. See you next Monday, guys.
Thanks, everyone. Ta-ta.